the chat, or does it just pop up at the bottom? I don't know. Apparently I can do Twitch templates though, which is nice. Hey, it does work. Right on. And frankly, this, I don't have to turn my phone on the side to do it. So that's nice. So what up, Utes Nation? We're going to try this again because I was talking to myself for about 15 minutes in the other one. And Dorsby let me know saying, hey, you're not live. I'm like, shit. So yeah, I was talking 15 minutes by myself, waiting for people to show up, of course. And I was just going to use it for the VOD. So I was like, wait, he says I'm not live. And it said I was live too, which was weird. Like it said in red at the bottom that it was live, but I think when I went over to Discord, it stopped it. And just the app didn't recognize that it stopped. But yeah, I went to go check to see if there was a VOD on Twitch for it, and there wasn't. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's shitty. And also, the weird part is, like, this has so much more features than I've seen from something that will allow you to stream with. It even has a flashlight setting. It's ran by Restream, which is nice, which we just saw for Stream Elements right there, popping in there. What up, Dorsby? So, yeah, I don't quite understand it myself, but I mean, I guess it would come in handy if you're doing like night streaming and you're on a walk and you can use it, but your battery would die pretty fucking quick. Yeah, and this is going to be a thing too, where I'm going to have to run over bumps a lot. So, Blaze and I have talked about doing Just Chatting for a while, and frankly, we haven't been able to calm down. I don't know if times when you want to do multiple things. Well, I know that phones have flashlights, but the app for streaming allows me to use my flashlight. I know that there is, I forgot what program it was, but back when we originally decided that we were going to start streaming, we were going to try and start with Just Chatting. And, we were just going to sit outside, whether it was daytime or nighttime. And there was one time that we went on and it was night and we were walking down, it's called the Pennsy Trail over in Indiana. And, like we're big about like ghosts and EVPs and shit like that. So we were going to go down the trail. And when I went on it, it wouldn't allow me to use my flashlight, which was weird. I'm running over the bumpers at the side of the road, so I'm really trying not to because I know it. So one of the big things that I want to do with the Just Chattings, talk about video game news or what's going on in the world. Like, frankly, the pandemic, I don't give a shit about. The riots, I care for it. There are going to be debates that people are probably going to end up trying to have. But frankly, those are not the talks that I want to have, because those things go on for hours. And then people get butthurt about my opinion on it. And then they leave. So only two topics that I really don't want to talk about. I got possessed. How did I get possessed? No. You let me know, Dorsby. I don't know. Maybe I did get possessed today because, frankly, I never actually jump on and do this Just Chatting thing. It very well could be a thing. Oh, a lot of people think that there's something wrong with me right now just because of the fact that one of the games in my favorite game series, I said I'm probably not going to end up playing. People think that I'm weird about that right now. They were like, you've been playing that game series since you were a kid. You finally come across one and it hasn't even came out yet. And you go, I may not play it. But if you're going based off of the fact that my voice is a little bit deeper compared with you guys, it's because, oh, that's why the phone didn't work. Well, it worked. It would say you can't use the flashlight during stream. So it was like they purposely made it not a feature. I don't quite understand, but like a different like voice range for different situations. Like I can get really excited to talk, and then as I get excited, of course, you talk higher. This is how you would typically hear me talk throughout the day, or, you know, obviously if I'm working. I'm tired of shit. I was like, okay, I can either fall asleep at the side of the road doing my job, or I can go ahead and just start this just chatting thing. And frankly, obviously, the just chatting thing ended up winning. Quick update for VOD, because this is also going on YouTube as well. So this is Restream's little app that they have, which for some odd reason I had to watch an ad before I could even start. It's like, you have any ads to start stream, please do this to get something, to get bonus. I mean, if I watch enough ads, are you gonna give me a sponsor, Restream? Because I've been using you for 2 years, motherfucker. You know, at least get on Facebook and freaking, you know, share my shit around, something. I do stream to Facebook too, but frankly, for some odd reason, my Facebook will choose to work and choose not to work. So that's another thing too. And like a lot of people, they've been trying to convince me to switch over to Facebook too, because Twitch is so they say it's oversaturated. You know, there's just too many big leagues that are, you know, Brit 99, you gotta make sure that I'm there. I've been watching a guy, and I'm not gonna lie, the motherfucker. And frankly, one of the biggest reasons why is because you'll be scrolling down your feed, and, you know, like, I go on Facebook, and literally the only thing that I want to see on Facebook is, like, funny game videos. You know, like, I've been talking a lot lately about, like, the Do and Them, Fitz, Vanoss Gaming. I love them all to death. Super fucking funny. Watch this guy. He's just the kindest streamer that I know so far. And just every week I would go in there, and all he plays is Fortnite. Well, he played Fall Guys a couple times, and I think a scary game. Started then, it seemed like 3 weeks later he was at 100, and then weeks later he was at 400, and another week later he was at 1,000. Like, he has this personality about him, and if you hang around with me long enough, you'll notice that there's one thing that never changes with me, and it's really just lack of emotion. You know, I can get serious about stuff, but this is my face, like 24/7. So he definitely has beat there. But I mean, he's got good community that's growing. He's got the community that, you know, I tried so hard to build, and frankly, he saw me on Facebook and he just took it. And I know with his start, he also had like a lot more oversight compared to what we had. You know, he had an intro ready, he had, you know, cool and stuff like that going. You know, he had a cool, they use stars instead of bits like Twitch does, and just like 100 stars, 50 stars, 100 stars, 50 stars, you know, so on and so. and the things that pop up, like, grab your attention. I mean, I'm jealous of the dude, because he started doing it and hasn't regretted it since, except for when one streamer came on, tried to get his followers to come over there. But really what all this is about, I mean, shout out to Troll Hunter JC. If you can already, make sure to, you know, give him a like or a follow or subscription, whatever it's called for Facebook. He's a pretty yeah, he's smart as fuck though. I don't even think he cares so much for the stars, honestly. I mean, you know, obviously anybody would get excited over money, but I don't even think that's what he's there for. I think quality streamer, and he's definitely getting there. Within his first year of starting, he's already like 5 times bigger than I am. The 3 years I've been streaming. One of the big weird thing that happened to me, I entered a notification on YouTube the other day, and it was for Final 16 trailer that launched. And I always get super when a Final Fantasy trailer comes out, because I've always been a Final since the age of 5. I've played through all. I played through all the spin-offs. The only one that I didn't completely play was 15. There was once or twice a week that I would do the Final Fantasy marathon, where literally all day it was just trying to complete the next Final Fantasy game and go on through the series. And I don't know, when I played Final Fantasy VII HD Remaster, I was super excited to get it. I spent the $80 for it, and I swear, I wish I could take it back. The team, as far as I can see, is the same team from Final Fantasy VII, the HD Remaster, not the original, obviously. Same team. It's because they got rid of the you know, the timeline for it is probably the original prophecy of the Crystal Bearers series. So I love the timeline. I love the gist of it. The summons are kind of, from what you can tell from the trailer, it could be something completely different, because the summons have turned their backs against the humans and are. I have a hard time playing a video game when it comes down to, I think they're British voice actors. Nothing against British voice actors, because I have heard plenty that are really good. But for some odd reason, when it comes down to British voice actors in games, the emotion is very lacking. It's like a Japanese father. They love this game. They big bond with it, and it's something that they don't express it. They don't make it known. Situations with that game where I'm sure the voice actors love that the Final Fantasy game, you know, obviously it's a real series. You know, it's a really big opportunity, and it's just the emotion isn't there. And that's one of the issues I have with Kingdom Hearts as well. I love the plot, but the voice has been shit. It's always just been extremely bad. So frankly, I've never, I have played through that whole series as well, despite the fact that I have always had an issue with their voice acting. But, you know, so a disappointment. Storyline was great. Great plot. Hardest thing. And 3 days later, with a few hours each day, beat it with issues. I had an issue. The reason why I had a problem with it was because I wasn't upgrading anything. I wasn't buying all the good equipment. I was literally just playing through the whole game with what you would get from the storyline, and that was it. I literally bought, I think like 2 status effect foods, and that's all I needed to beat the game. I like that. Frankly, Cloud bothers me very, very much. Barrett's voice bothers me very, very much. But I also grew up, yeah. I grew up with, Final Fantasy VII Children, and, goddamn, what was it called? I've been through the Advent Children complete, and I was addicted. I watched that shit every fucking night. So I'm used to the original English voice actors for these characters, and I was really, really hoping that they were going to get them back. When Cloud sounded like, but my big with it was the storyline. They completely screwed up the storyline. I made it probably only about and it's a parted series. Only made it probably about a quarter of the way through the first, and I shook my head and I said, you know what, I'm done for the night. And then I never started it back up. So when I'm seeing that the team that has completely disappointed going to create another Final Fantasy game, and mind you that a lot of the original Final Fantasy creators, a lot of the ones that really made shit happen, the animators, the writers, producer, director, whatever you want to call it, they're all gone. They all either quit. What I tell everybody is that if like 7 HD Remaster was, then there's going to be no more Final Fantasy games after this. Like, they're just going to drop the whole project and hope that Kingdom Hearts can keep them lifted. Which, from what I've seen story-wise, wow, but with the story, with how it's going, they still have room to make more money and to keep their business afloat. They need to stop HD remastering, honestly, at this point, though, because that's a big flop, and I think they should honor at that point. I mean, the Final Fantasy VIII HD Remaster, impressed by that. I was impressed with their Final Fantasy IX HD Remaster, though, so that was actually pretty decent. Sorry. There are also a few other games that are coming out that I kind of want to get my hands on. I don't know, honestly, if I'm going to end up going back to the Zelda series, because they kind of just started doing the same. It completely changes how everything plays. I know, like, there's a few more Mario games coming out. I would like to see another Mario Party. I heard that they're working on a new Mario Collect Super Nintendo. To bring something pretty neat, because I liked Xbox had the Rare Replay. I thought that was exciting. Frankly, I didn't get to play it as soon as it came out. I got to play it like a year and a half after it was released, and I was excited to play Banjo in HD. I was excited to play. I can't even remember what it was called. I was just talking about it the other day, because the only reason that I even remembered it was because I saw a lot of games that were really good for the Nintendo 60. Fuck the Perfect Dark that came out on 360, though. That shit sucked. That was really, really bad. That was not a Perfect Dark game. I don't care what anybody says. The same character, but it was not a Perfect Dark game. And I got blazed into Perfect Dark back when we lived in Florida. I was working for DirecTV, and had a customer. I was working on his house, and frankly, just a lot of people kept denying service to his house because of the type of area that he lived in. He lived in it's dealing with satellites, so it's got to be 100% perfect. I kind of just chit-chatted with him for a second and, poked a couple of jokes. And I was like, I noticed that you have a room. He's like, oh yeah, I've had that for, about 2 years. I bought it for my dad. He served in something. I don't remember if it was, for some odd reason, your message is like halfway cut off. I just want to read it. Maybe if I read it. Nope, because it does not flip. So we have found Steam's limit. Apparently, you go over like 20 characters, I will not be able to read. Oh, what up, Social? So Doorsby, I will read what I can see, but I can't see anything past that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I missed over half of everything. Other than that, I haven't been able to read it. If you tell me I'm cutting in and out, though, I'm going to be pissed off. I could try and relaunch with Twitch if I need to. Breaking up. Ow. Like sound-wise, buffer-wise, connection. Phone keeps freezing. Cuts out. Okay, let me switch back to the Twitch app. See if that'll fix it. I know this app is still in beta.